This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Good morning. It is July, a new month, and a new episode of Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. If you've ever considered starting and running your own business, then you are the person we're hoping to help through this show. Each week, we present 7 stories told by people familiar with the process: business owners, bankers, financiers, civic leaders, and our own team of experts. They share their experiences so you can learn from their achievements and their occasional speed bumps. In addition to the TV show you're watching, we also provide a weekly newsletter, and we refresh that every Tuesday. We also produced a weekly podcast so you can follow us at your convenience. And you'll find clips of all 7 topics from earlier shows and more information when you visit our website, beoshow.com. Let's get to the business of business. Here's what's coming up today on Business, Equity, and Opportunities. In our Access to Capital segment, we attend a pitch competition and meet a winner who's tickled pink. This week in business, the Department of Public Works hosts a Diversity Outreach event. Accounting and bookkeeping with our CFO, Ty Shea. In running your business day-to-day, dealing with disaster with the help of the Small Business Administration. Our industry focus is on a woman-owned fire prevention company. And we conclude with a constructive success story. We are getting started with a name familiar to auto racing fans around the world, Andretti, and a series in the sport in which the winners include sustainability and Indiana's tech industry.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting started.
We were actually one of the first calls when Formula E was even an idea, and as it was coming to fruition, and we were super excited about the opportunity to be able to explore new technology and truly be able to entertain fans in a different way with that purpose. Just being able to diversify our racing portfolio in general was critical to us. With Formula E, we continue to advance season to season, so it's a blast to be able to push that technology to the edge as we've been season after season, and knock on wood, some championship contention here, and fully committed to season 10, already planning and prepping, of course, for next season. So we're very excited.
So I am Jake Dennis. I am 28 years old, and I am a racing driver for Avalanche Andretti in Formula E. Formula E has really grown in Europe massively over the years. This is my 3rd year currently in it, and I think just as the battery technology has advanced so much, and this weekend we were racing in Portland, and we've just reached the top speed of Formula E, which is 170 miles per hour around that circuit, which is only just a few miles per hour short of what IndyCar can do. So the technology is advancing so much, the software has progressed a lot, and it's just nice to be part of a project which is evolving all the time, It never stands still. The cars and the software are so far advanced, and you really need a good team around you, a good bunch of intelligent people to produce a good result. And I've loved every minute of it. It's been difficult at times for sure, because it's not what you're used to, where you sort of grow up in like normal petrol engines, and then to move to electric is a completely different style of racing. But I've really enjoyed my whole experience with Andretti and Formula E, and long may it continue.
We are fortunate to have the US's only Formula E team in our backyard. It's an incredible achievement for Indiana, an incredible achievement for Andretti. So our partnership with Andretti allows us to put Indiana on a global scale as the innovators, the mobility game changers, and key players in the energy transition that we know we are. In the short term, the benefits of this partnership are the external engagement in the media and the excitement that comes from the alignment. I think we're able to tell Indiana's story of our deep manufacturing and innovation and motorsports histories in a really cool and new and innovative way. And so being able to do that through this partnership, it allows us to kind of hone in on those pieces of the story that might not be as familiar to the global audience. Business development-wise, we are now connecting with partners globally that are like-minded and interested in the same sorts of fields as we are as a state. So it's been really beneficial for us to be in the room with a lot of the change makers, the decision makers, the people that are pushing the boundaries, and this partnership has allowed us to do that.
Formula E in general has significant sustainability achievements. So they were actually the first sport to ever become net zero carbon from inception, which is huge. Signing up to certified science-based targets, achieving the third-party ISO 20121 certification. Formula E was also the first motorsport to achieve the 3-star FIA sustainability accreditation, which is huge for that, sustainability framework. And we, as Andretti Formula E, have actually been able to get the 3-star FIA sustainability accreditation as well, which is absolutely incredible for us, super exciting. And with that, we were able to fast track to that 3rd star, which is like the most elite option, to, thanks to our ISO 14001 certification with our Formula E team. And we've actually been able to replicate that here in our US headquarters so that we can set a proper foundation to be able to build upon that for our new headquarters coming in Fishers, and be able to just continually improve. And it's all about best practices. And the best way to look at sustainability as a whole, I would say, is just the fact that it is a long-term proposition, because there's no true finish line. It really is just continual progress, and that's what you want to strive for sure.
The possibilities are endless. I think what we have now, which is the Generation 3 car, is already so far advanced compared to anything what we see in motorsport right now. These cars can easily do 4-wheel drive. They could easily reach to 0 to 60 miles per hour in around about 1.6 seconds if they were allowed to. Right now they're restricted. But I think in the future we'll definitely see some incredibly fast cars, even to the level of Formula 1. And hopefully in the future we'll see even more better technology, even more advanced batteries, which obviously then get implemented into road cars, which is obviously ultimately what Formula E are trying to achieve with sustainability. And it's just great for me to be part of such a cool project, which is always evolving.
As we're out at Formula E races, and as we're out meeting with these partners, as those projects are coming to the States, they're needing that support of Indiana small businesses in order to fulfill their supplier demands and in order to better the smaller ecosystems in the economy that we have created here. So I think whether we're attracting small businesses through the partnership or whether we're attracting the larger businesses that are then supported by smaller Indiana businesses, it's a win for all.
Seeing the response with the fans just firsthand is, it's amazing. I love to be able to educate new fans as well, because once they get a glimpse at it, they're usually hooked. So I love to be a part of that. But just to engage with fans on site, it's amazing to see the buzz around it. And in general, for that that series, for the caliber of attendees that it has, it's really incredible and just a wonderful drive for business for sure.
Getting started, made possible by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation.
For more information about Formula E racing, look for links on our website, beoshow.com. Scan the QR code to get there right now. If you'd like to ask us a question or have your business on our show, send us an email, beo@wishtv.com. Coming up, we meet the winner of a $25,000 product pitch.
Grow your business with Wish TV's featured business directory. For less than $200 a month, be one of the limited businesses in 30 different categories, benefiting from one of the top visited websites in Indiana and Indiana's only statewide news station. Space is limited. Contact us today.
Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. If you've heard the acronym BIPOC, you know it stands for Black, Indigenous, and People of Color. The organization known as PitchFeast provides BIPOC entrepreneurs with essential business development support, technical training, other services to help them with projects and ventures. The PitchFeast Business Pitch Competition, minority entrepreneurs see the opportunity to access substantial capital for their startups, up to $25,000.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Access to capital.
Kendra Williams is the founder of PitchFeast.
PitchFeast is a community crowdfunding event we focus on helping Black and brown entrepreneurs get the capital resources they need to start their business. When we started, we probably was giving $250 away per event. Today, we are giving $55,000 away in investment funding to Black and brown entrepreneurs. And so we have 4 winners. Our first place winner gets $25,000. Our second place winner gets $15,000. Our third place winner gets $10,000. And then we always have that audience's favorite who gets $5,000. And they're allowed to take that investment money and apply it to their business in whatever way that they can achieve growth. A lot of the entrepreneurs we work with typically don't qualify for traditional bank funding. When it comes to Black entrepreneurs, only 1% of those entrepreneurs are able to receive a loan from a bank for their business. And so the funds that they receive through our partnership with Central Indiana Impact, it's just been phenomenal.
I was born and raised in Gary. And I left there with no education. I started off as a receptionist in New York City. I came there in 1990, fresh from Southeastern Academy School. That's a travel and tourism school. My intentions and promise to my dad and mom is that I will go there for 16 weeks and I will come back to Houston, Texas and finish out my degree. And so I am the first out of 9 siblings to have and hold a degree. So I started the business in 2012. So 4 years into our marriage, I decided that I wanted to start my own business. My intentions before God stepped in was that I was going to finish my bachelor's and go on to get my MBA and my doctorate, because I can do that in New York. I got into organic soaps and lotions, but it wasn't giving me what I needed for my skin. It wasn't giving me the hydration and moisturization that I needed for my skin. And so that was my intention, was to get hydration and moisturization below and on the surface of the skin. And so I used the products that night. I didn't like it. And so I had my business plan written out. And so the following day I called LegalZoom. I'm thinking about how I want this website to be. And I was like, I don't want an ordinary website. I want my e-commerce to be something that, is, giving, something that's affordable, something that is tangible, something that is easy for the consumer to go on and look at and purchase. And so I kept on thinking about this tub, and I was like, I didn't want an ordinary tub. And so I was always in love with pink since Happy Days. And so I thought about the pink tub. So I was like, yeah, that's what I want. I want this pink tub. And I wanted to surround it by, these soaps, these lotions, these bubbles. And so the pink tub was established. It changed for me year number 2 into business. I was diagnosed with triple-negative breast cancer. At that time, I didn't know what God was doing for me. Doing chemo those 6 months, my skin started to change. And the women around me, their skin started to change. Whatever their nationality was, their skin changed with the chemicals that they use to administer it for chemo. And it's really harsh. And so I came up with the 5-5-3 method during my last 4 rounds of chemo. And so it was just amazing. It started to transform my skin. It started to keep me hydrated and moisturized. And these are one of my oils. So you definitely, want this. This is actually amazing. So I'm able to do this, and look, it is not going on my clothing, right? So you don't want something that's slippery. You don't want something that it's going to, penetrate on your clothing. You want it to stay on your skin and keep it hydrated and moisturized. I met with Kendra last year. I had just won my first pitch competition, grand prize, and it was virtually, and it was through She Means Business. And then they found out that I won my pitch competition. So I was invited to come to the PitchFeast last year in the fall. I liked it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try for it. So when the application came, I applied. It was like 100, almost 200 people that applied. So to be one of the top 10 finalists, that was a blessing for me. I did not know that I was going to win my second pitch. So it was befitting for the business. I needed that money. I needed to flood this business with money. I need this business to flourish because I'm just a vessel, and it's all God. It's not me, it's Him. So I know that this business can do, and the brand and the product can do phenomenal. Our goal is, by 2033, is to be in all 7 continents throughout the world, because every cancer patient needs this. Having and being diagnosed with cancer that changed the whole trajectory of the business, that changed the mission of the business. This product had a meaning to it. It had something to do with helping others because it makes you feel good. I don't know why, but everyone that uses our products, they're happy. It's all God, I can honestly say. And I can say from being diagnosed to now, I can honestly say that God has brought me a mighty long way. I am grateful. I am honored to win this prize. I'm gonna do my best. I will be the next Madam C.J. Walker, but in skincare, not hair care. And I can honestly say that Gary, Indiana made me. New York City built me. But Indianapolis, Indiana, you manifest me into who I am today, and I'm thankful for that.
Outside of the Pink Tub, which is a phenomenal body care line, right? We had an individual who is patenting a product right now geared towards men. It's super exciting to see the work he's doing. And then we also had an individual who is working in that educational space that's really helping develop teachers as they grow in their career. So we're really seeing different types of businesses that are really geared at helping alleviate some of the problems that we see in our community. So we do PitchFeast 2 times a year. Our next event is scheduled for September 25th. The proposals are available and open on the website right now. Go to our website, pitchfeast.org, and apply. And hopefully you'll be one of the 10 finalists that we pick for our September event.
You can always see tips on accessing capital here first each week. Then you can see and share all of them through links on our website, beoshow.com. Get there instantly scanning the QR code on your screen. Coming up, accounting and bookkeeping with Ty Shea. First though, DPW hosts its first Diversity Outreach event. We'll take you there after these messages. Time for more business equity and opportunities, specifically this week in business, and news from the partnership in Indianapolis between the Office of Minority and Women Business Development and the Department of Public Works in a diversity outreach event. The goal is to seek out and partner with diverse suppliers and businesses on upcoming projects.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. This week in business.
So my name's Brandon Herget, Director of DPW. We're out here today at Holiday Park in partnership with OMWBD to talk about the different contracting opportunities that the Department of Public Works has coming up for the end of this year's construction. So we're doing outreach to minority firms across the city in central Indiana to try to make sure folks are aware of the opportunities and encourage them to participate both in our city's OMWBD program and also in our construction season. So we're looking for small firms, large firms, everything in between. We have everything from paving contracts and that type of work to landscaping, culvert drainage, clear outs, you name it, and we probably have something that'll apply. Construction season includes $443 million worth of capital projects this year. And so across the county and across the city, we have projects that we're excited about and want to encourage minority participation. I think the networking opportunities, I think, having coffee with a couple gentlemen this morning in the back of the room, they just appreciate the opportunity to get to rub elbows with city staff that are in the weeds and managing the projects. And that gives them the opportunity to understand a little bit better about our goals and what we're trying to accomplish. And so I think these networking opportunities, even more so than the formal presentations, are a great resource for our community and our small businesses that want to come and do work with the city. And we're excited about that.
DPW has probably about $1.5 billion worth of infrastructure work that they're going to be doing over the next 5 years. And so myself and Brandon Herget, the director, we've been talking about how can we help them engage with more diverse vendors to participate in a lot of these projects and opportunities. So we came up with the idea of doing outreach events specifically for them. We've done a couple this year for other agencies. We did one for Indy Parks. And so we find that these are pretty good because folks are coming, they're hearing about specific opportunities with a specific department, and it's not as much jumbled up where if we have 20 agencies together, folks have to maneuver through, whereas here they come in, they're learning about everything DPW is doing. For those who are not certified, they're learning about certification. My staff and team are here, so we're here to answer questions and help folks through the process. But the main thing is so folks can be informed about all the opportunities and projects that are going to be coming out from DPW. The ideal candidate to come to this event is one of our certified diverse vendors. So in order to participate and to be counted towards our diversity goal, you have to be certified with our office. So we certify minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses, and disabled-owned business enterprises. So you have to be in one of those categories. You have to be certified. Those are the businesses that we're looking to grow. We encourage everybody to come out. That's the only way you're really going to have the opportunity to get involved, is you have to come to these opportunities. You have to network, create those relationships that are vital to growing your business, and this is the place to do those types of things.
Andre Williams with Williams Distribution. We're a chemical distribution company. So we deal with pharmaceutical, personal care, construction. We supply high purity solvents, reagents, lab chemicals, lab equipment. Came to find out more ways or opportunities I could work with DPW. You're able to get your company out in front of people. You're able to network, find out the commodities or their needs, and if you're a good fit to help being a minority certified company is just an added value. And it helps smaller businesses like myself grow as well. Turning my networking opportunities into relationships that will grow into long-term partnerships to where I can work with multiple companies across the city and provide my services to them to help them complete their job.
My name is Rodney Harris. I work with JQOL. I'm a project manager there. My company does three things. Engineering. On the engineering side, we do a lot of design. We have a team of highly qualified engineers. We do surveys, and we have surveying services. Then there's also inspection, construction side services that we do, and also utility services, which I'm a part of, the utility coordination department. When we started working with DPW, at least I can speak for myself on the utility side, we kind of grew into the role. So as we completed more projects and they saw the quality of the work that we could provide, they gave us more projects and more opportunities, and that's led to a very good relationship. One benefit I think is just networking and seeing other XBEs like myself and other guys who are wanting to get into bidding DPW projects. I think that it's good to know that there are other players, but so we can actually match services and kind of help each other when we're doing these bids. So it's not necessarily a competition thing, but just basically us getting to know more about what DPW has to offer and how we can partner together. So there can be several other players in the room that can help each other for these bids to make sure that we're putting up a good piece. To come to events like this, to meet players, meet people, do this actual certifications you guys, they talked about in the beginning as far as becoming XBs, that process, because sometimes I think with especially with smaller firms, smaller XBs, that it can be kind of challenging, but just actually going out, getting those certifications done, working with those people because they want to help. The city of Indianapolis wants to help you get those certifications, so utilize those services, utilize the networks, and then things will kind of go downhill as you get those first opportunities, because I believe that those companies can do the work. It's just getting the exposure.
This Week in Business is made possible by InnoPower.
For more about the Week in Business, you can always visit us at beoshow.com. Look for the QR code and scan that right now. If your business has an event you'd like us to mention, send us an email, beo@wishtv.com. Later, dealing with disasters like our new round of severe weather in running your business day to day. Next, though, it's our CFO, Ty Shea, with tips on accounting and bookkeeping. More business equity and opportunities right after this.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, Accounting and Bookkeeping.
It is time on Business Equity and Opportunities. We talk accounting and bookkeeping with someone who knows it quite well, the Chief Financial Officer at Circle City Broadcasting and Wish TV, and one of our longtime contributors on the show. Ty Shea, thanks for being with us. What do you say we go back to basics for the next few weeks? Sound like a good idea?
That sounds great, Scott. And pleasure to be here again. Great to catch up with you again.
Well, we appreciate the time. Let's talk about things that Seems simple to somebody who's obviously trained in this, but as a small business owner who's just jumping into the field, maybe things like general ledgers and accounts still sound like a little bit of word soup. What's a general ledger? What do we need to know about it?
Yeah, so basically with the general ledger and the chart of accounts, we're talking about the foundational structure of balanced general ledger accounting, which is debits and credits and balancing off transactions. But essentially it boils down to it's the means of recording every transaction that you have that occurs within your business operations. And so it is important to, one, have a good chart of accounts, which, that can come down to a numbering system where you number your assets, your liabilities, your equity accounts, your revenue accounts, and your expense accounts at a very high level. And then you can get far more granular in how you set that up. But it's important to have some forethought as you're putting that structure in place and envisioning things like, okay, what kinds of different revenue streams am I going to have? How many departments am I going to have? And things like that. And in some ways, it kind of forces a new business owner to map out, how they envision their business to be laid out. And it's actually a very good exercise and productive exercise.
Once you have that framework in place, is there flexibility? And I ask that because, as you know, our viewers, small business owners and prospective entrepreneurs are, and I think the current cliche is, sort of building the plane as they're flying it. So you may find what you thought was headed down this course needs to veer a little bit in this direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can build that into your model at the outset by having a certain number of digits for accounts so that you won't run out of numbers, right? Or adding subdivision dashes and things of that nature, and that's a good way to maintain that flexibility so that someday, perhaps when you grow and you're getting bigger, you still have that ability to grow within your financial structure in addition to your general business operations.
Adding a comma, it's nice to be aspirational and say, hey, listen, I'm going to get there, even if I'm not here right now.
And as entrepreneurs are generally optimistic folks to begin with, that's why they're hanging out their own shingle. So it follows a certain pattern with them to begin with.
An area of strength is whatever brings the person to the business. An area of growth, of course, would be something like this, where it's not familiar territory, but it'll be necessary. Is it safe to presume that one of the fundamental parts of this is being timely about it, not going, oh, I'll record that, I'll remember to do that, but rather make it a priority so that the numbers get in place immediately?
Everyone has their own routine, right? And some businesses may not even have that many transactions in, say, a certain period of time. So whatever works for the business owner from a timely, accounting essentially comes down to getting timely information to the users of that information. So if the decision makers only need that information once a month or once every couple of months, so be it. Some businesses, you need that information every day, right? And so that is a big part of a general accounting framework, is making sure that information can be delivered to the end users of that information in a timely basis, in whatever form that takes. And it definitely varies business to business.
So maybe even consistency would be a better way to think of that than immediacy, exactly. Whatever works in your world. That is the general ledger. That's the first of several conversations we're going to have about some of the basics with Ty Shea.
Thank you, Scott.
Ty's many accounting and bookkeeping tips are essential viewing. You can see them and share them through our website. Get there right now by scanning the QR code on your screen. While you're there, sign up for our newsletter. Our team updates it every Tuesday. Good time, too, to subscribe to the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast so you can listen on your schedule. Later, our industry focus is on a local, woman-owned fire prevention company. First, though, running your business day to day after we do some business with you.
Every business is unique, and every business has a target audience. Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base.
with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble to reach a customer base that spans the globe. Pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. No matter the size of your business, put Circulus Digital Media to work for you and get results.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. It is time for running your business day to day. Latest round of severe weather in our state serves as an ideal time to learn about the Disaster Assistance for Rural Communities Act and what it means for small businesses dealing with damage.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities, running your business day to day.
Jerry Aglipe is the administrator in the Great Lakes region for the Small Business Administration.
Well, we're really excited because as of June 5th, a law was finally implemented that President Biden signed in December called the Rural Communities Act. It is going to transform the way that we support rural communities in times of disasters by cutting the red tape and simplifying the process by which business owners, small business owners, and rural communities can get the assistance they need. And with this law is that we've lowered the threshold for the declaration in order to deploy loans to the area in rural communities. What it is was previously we had 25 structures that had to be declared in a county. We've lowered it to 1. Again, it was signed in December, but it just finally got implemented and started activating June 5th. You know, by coming to SBA.gov and the Indiana SBA District Office, what they're doing is they're coming into an ecosystem of support. We are making strides to strengthening the ecosystem for small business owners to thrive and become more resilient. What they're coming into is a dedicated support that we are investing for strengthening the ecosystem of our partners, like the Small Business Development Centers and the Women's Business Centers, to offer them a foundational setup for their business so that they can be ready not only to operate their businesses on a daily basis, but to also set up their businesses for an infrastructure so that when a disaster occurs, they are going to be ready to also face that disaster head on and set them up for resiliency. We've transformed the Office of Disaster Assistance to the Office of Disaster Recovery and Resiliency. And today we were very fortunate to have Associate Administrator Sanchez, who is the first political appointee for that office, come and visit with Indiana Small Business Development Center and our office and many of our partners in the ecosystem this morning with a town hall forum, updating them about these changes that SBA is making, not only with the Office of Disaster Recovery and Resilience, but also under this law, the Rural Communities Act. We have 92 counties in the state of Indiana. 72 of them are rural. That's 78% counties in the state of Indiana that are considered rural. Mostly, this law benefits not only the counties, but the entire state of Indiana, the populations and the communities that live there. There is a whole of government approach that we are emphasizing with the other federal agencies, but also state government and the local government, the mayors. Recently, Indiana had several counties that were declared under a disaster from the tornadoes that the governor asked a request from the president. That was accepted and was declared. In this example, in this instance, what we've seen is the SBA Indiana District Office is working hand in glove with FEMA, as well as the mayor's offices, as well as the communities and community-based organizations to get the word out and reach those business owners, as well as homeowners and renters, about the assistance that's available for them through the declaration of disasters as well. So it's a whole of government approach, but it isn't limited to government agencies. It also includes our partners, like at the Small Business Development Centers, many of which are based at nonprofit organizations that are community-based organizations. Some of them are also based in academic centers as well. Again, whole of government approach, but also it's a community-based approach to being inclusive, to rebuilding wealth from a disaster and rebuilding and creating more resiliency. There's 5 C's that I like to call about what the SBA does. Traditionally, it's capital, counseling, and contracting, but we are also very good at connecting individuals and partners to the resources that they need. We also convene. Today, as I said, we had a town hall forum with Associate Administrator Francisco Sanchez in from the Office of Disaster Recovery and Resiliency, so we also convene. We do a very good job, and I have to say, under District Director Stacy Pointer, the Indiana District Office and his entire team does an excellent job of listening, boots on the ground, as to what's happening and where we need to input our resources collectively, so we see a collective impact as well.
If you'd like to learn more about that federal help that's possibly available after a disaster, or any of the topics in our Running Your Business Day-to-Day segments, visit BEOshow.com for links. There's a QR code that can get you right there right now. Later, our success story. Before that, though, preventing fires before they happen. That's our industry focus, coming up after you focus on some messages.
Every business is unique, and every business has a target audience. Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble to reach a customer base that spans the globe. Pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. No matter the size of your business, put Circulus Digital Media to work for you and get results.
Each week on Business Equity and Opportunities, we focus on an industry. Today, it's on the fire prevention industry and a certified minority and women-owned business that specializes in installing, maintaining, testing, and inspecting fire systems.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities, Industry Focus.
Rosemily Geyer is the president of Geyer Fire.
I co-founded this business with other family members after having been in public accounting for about 10 years, having seen entrepreneurial businesses at EY for many years. I knew that at some point there would be an opportunity for me to do something, and the opportunity came up with fire protection. So that started in 2011, and the real key there was getting involved and networking, because the fact is I really didn't know much about, fire sprinklers at the time. But I was open to learning, and I've always been a studious person, always constantly wanting to learn and curious about things. And so that's really what led to developing this and then getting involved and just getting out there in the community and in the construction world. So we have definitely faced labor shortages. Labor shortages have been, using our current employee base to do reach outs to other folks that they know, right? And to encourage people to also join the trades. That's been one way of getting some of that manpower, trying to figure out how we're going to train people faster. But then also beginning to focus on other service lines that may not necessarily use a certain skill level. So using other service lines to grow, where you can probably get those skills a little faster and train them in-house much faster than going to the other world. So I said with sprinkler, it is a skilled trade. It takes a lot more training. We also do extinguishers, alarms, and other routes, and we have found that we are better able to find individuals in those spaces or better train them, right? Then you also have faced issues with material, and that has been just working with suppliers. The future definitely looks like, and where I'm trying to go with this, is increasing our services, right? Definitely minimizing some of the risks that we face in construction, right? Due to economy, recessions, other pieces, that is more of a volatile area. The services is a need that you'll always have, right? So that to me is probably where we're going to go by increasing our footprint in alarm and extinguishers and sprinkler, emergency repairs, etc. That is probably where we're going with the business, and also increasing our engineering capacities. You really are changing lives. I think the whole team is doing that together, and everybody coming together to either finish that project, get through to that project, and also onboarding new people into these trades because they're life-changing. People onboarding and taking on union positions, that's life-changing for those individuals. So those are the things that kind of get me going, knowing that we can continue to add people to the team, and they're going to help grow and get us moving in that next direction. There's opportunities the building, right? Just within what the city is putting out there. Projects such as like an IU Health, the hospitals that are going up. But that's not just here in the city, right? That's throughout the state. Those types of opportunities are coming up, and they're definitely putting in a lot of effort to bring in XBE companies into those opportunities and making it work for you, right? Because it's not always reasonable or feasible to say that you're going to take on a large segment of a project, but they're working with you and teaming, and even our competitors are coming to us and saying, hey, let's find ways to team together, right? So it's also a friendly, competitive nature among some of the other fire protection companies. So there's a ton of opportunity. You just don't have all the capacity to take it all. I mean, we are turning down opportunities at this point for capacity reasons.
If you'd like to see any of the segments that we focus on a certain industry, they're all on BEOshow.com. You can reach that right now through the QR code that's on your screen. When we return, we wrap things up with our success story. Certainly time for a favorite segment on business equity and opportunities, Success Story. Indianapolis-based Gemco is a national mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and service contractor providing comprehensive design and build solutions for its customers, and it is today's Success Story.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities, Success Story.
Gemco was started in July of 2014. We are a design, build, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, building controls contractor. All of our leadership had worked in different entities in this same business through their careers, and we thought we wanted to create the best sustainable company we could for those people to provide the best use for our resources, to provide answers for our customers and also for our employees. We specialize in the heavy industrial market. We build and support Amazon's, FedEx's, Medline's, the e-commerce community that really expanded during pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, post-pandemic. We really relied on the team building process of treating people, our employees, our customers as we wanted to be treated. You know, lessons learned from the construction industry as a whole. It's a very intense business. It's a alpha business, and we wanted to create a culture where people could communicate, utilize our core values of initiative, decisiveness, resourcefulness, flexibility, and dependability to provide an end product for our customers, but also provide a sustainable career and future for the people that work with us currently and moving forward. We're an entrepreneurial-based management system. Within the company, we have multiple different divisions that we empower our leaders to be the CEOs of their division. We provide the backbone and the resources as a company as a whole to support them. But you're absolutely right. You have to have the right people in the right seats. They have to know what they're doing. They have to want to know what they're doing, and then have the vision to grow around them. And that's what we've done. I mean, that's not the secret sauce of Gemco, but that's what it is. It's not a one person that tells everybody what to do. It is a collaborative team effort between our national electrical group, our national mechanical group, national plumbing group. They all work together with business development to support our customers, to support the field. But you're absolutely right. It's drawing from this resource to this resource, getting a little uncomfortable with growth, which we did. Went from a very small company to a very large company in a fast growth period, which is entrepreneurial based. And it's bringing in people from different entities that weren't necessarily given the opportunity where they were previously. We provide them an opportunity to run their own company within a company, and that's how we built Gemco. Being willing to put in the work, being willing to take that extra mile to when other people stop, you continue to go. Believing in yourself, believing in your vision, communicating to people that you want to grow around, what they provide to the company and what you can provide to them. is really key for us, and they've really embraced that. Getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, and just believing in yourself, really. Also timing. The timing definitely plays a part in taking that leap as an entrepreneur. Having a market sector, having a customer base that believes in you, and performing for them. And again, the work, you can't stop when other people stop as an entrepreneur. You have to go. Unfortunately, the best learning lessons are usually the ones where you lose and not win. But again, not make the same mistake twice. Learn from those mistakes. Communication with your customers, with your team, learn how you can get better. And then also being in a unique market sector. The e-commerce business that we grew JQOL around, it was growing, it still is growing, just the way people's shopping habits have changed. But then the pandemic hit, and really went into warp speed of what we needed to build to support that. Now that we're post-pandemic, it hasn't changed much. It's just working through the nuances of the supply chain, the challenges of that, and the economy, and making sure that it's still stable. Continue to build the team. Building a team from 0 employees to, we peaked out 350 employees in less than 9 years. It's just building the team. We really enjoy that entrepreneurial base that we've created, to put the right people in the right seats, find the leaders, let the leaders build their teams, and just provide the resources where people are getting excited about construction, get excited about what we do. That's what's exciting for me. Give back to the community. Wish TV is a great partner of ours with the Teachers Treasures, very active in supporting that movement. Habitat for Humanity also is something we're really big in. We also support American Heart Association. My brother and I, family history of cardiovascular problems, heart issues, big believers in figuring out what we can do to help that program. And just giving back. Yeah, our team is very community oriented with participating in charity softball events, just being out there, getting the JQOL brand and the awareness of who we are as a team, the culture of JQOL and how we can support the community along with the company and our customers. Success means sustainability for our team. It means providing a very, very good product for our customers. It means to be a community-oriented company who provides a very good career path for people, who provides a very good quality product for our customers, but also is very community active to support the community around us. It's surreal for us. It is. I mean, my brother and I, we come from a family of a construction background. Our father ran the company, did everything for the company, and he and I took that next step to own it, to run it, to kind of create that vision of what he wanted to do. It's surreal to be able to provide that recession-proof platform for our employees and to help the community. It's surreal, I think, with the word I would use.
That is all the time we have for Business Equity and Opportunities for this week. Our thanks to everybody who shared a story with us. If you need more information about the topics on today's show, find links through beoshow.com. Scan the QR code. It'll get you there right now. You can also find past segments of the show from all of our 7 weekly topics. Listen to our Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. Subscribe to the All Indiana Podcast Network. Sign up for our newsletter that we update every Tuesday. And if you have questions or a story to share, send us an email at beo@wishtv.com. We will see you next week for Business Equity and Opportunities. Till then, I'm Scott Sander. Have a great Sunday.
Business Equity and Opportunities is made possible by Indiana Economic Development Corporation, InnoPower, Bose McKinney & Evans, JQOL, and Fifth Third Bank.